So I'm always thinking about creative new mini series to start on this channel. And when it comes to comics, it's always a cool thing to really go back and look through some old arcs, look at some old comics. So I figured I'd start a new series on my channel called Blast from the Past, in which we will go through some old issues, but these will not be like some of the digitized down scrolling. Instead, it's going to be just like my reviews, and I will actually have the comic in hand. And of course, this playlist will be on the homepage of my YouTube. And for the first episode of this playlist, we are going to start with a classic issue, and it's only right considering that it has been the talk of much of my discussions. Today we are going to go through the Amazing Spider-Man annual issue number 16, which of course is the first ever comic with Monica Rambeau, who became the second person to rock the moniker of Captain Marvel, though having no connection to Marvel and had a completely different type of power set. Keep in mind, this is 1982, and this is the same year that Marvel was really killed off. Okay, let's dive into it. Okay, so here we are. Though this comic was released a full 8 years before I was born, this was released in 1982, remind you. It's been kept in some really solid shape. Here's the cover, and as you can see, it states over here, presenting the exciting origin, the all new, or of the all new, all different, all terrific Captain Marvel. And we do start this issue with Peter Parker walking in, the readers being reminded that with the spider senses, he can alert, or he is more so alerted of any person out of the ordinary that walks near him. As you can see here, he's walking past a black woman and he's wondering who she is. Who's that lady? He, of course, does think that she's beautiful, but his senses never went off due to someone's beauty. So he figures that he'll follow her from a distance. She starts walking through the neighborhood, and Peter says she for sure isn't from here, because being dressed like that and walking into that neighborhood is asking for trouble. He decides to grab his spider suit and really to play her guardian. And of course, she gets grabbed, her purse gets jacked. She's grabbed from behind by these two muggers. One of the guys does pull out a knife and attacks her, but she weaves it and strikes his ass down. Out of fear, one of the muggers takes off. And that's when Spider-Man finally shows up. He knocks him out. He tries to sneak up on her, and she sends his ass flying because she thought that he was like the other mugger. That's when she realized that she just did this to Spider-Man, realizing that, or more so what she's really done. She says that she might as well ditch this pantsuit, and that's when she is rocking her actual costume. As you can see here. She does, however, disappear all the way to the Empire State Building, and Spider-Man is like, how did she do this so fast? And this is the page which you've probably seen online, and it says, call her Captain Marvel. So you get a brief glimpse at both of her speed and her power. So this is where we find out that she is from New Orleans. This is where we learn that Monica is part of the New Orleans Harbor Patrol. She's confronting her boss, wanting to know why there were 4 captaincies and she was not promoted to fill any of those roles, though she was more qualified than the men that got those jobs. The boss claims that her methods are unorthodox and not by the books. She thinks that it's because she's a woman, and he doesn't take kindly to this and these accusations. He does dismiss her. She storms out of his office, and she's then confronted by this professor. His name is Professor Andre Leclerc, who is an old friend of her grandfather. He tells her that he was working under an old South American dictator because he was funding his research, which devised a process for really drawing energy from other universes. He flees the country when he realized that he was building a weapon, but his former assistant is building something that he claims is bigger than the atomic bomb, and he needs someone to help him out, but no one believes him. This is why he's there to see Monica, and she decides to help. So the next day, the old man leads her to an oil rig, which turns out to be a Roxxon oil tower. They approach the tower, and luring them with her beauty, the sergeant instructs the men to escort her. His name is Dr. Picaro. They start chatting, and then the alarm goes off, and it turns out that Professor Leclerc, who Monica instructed to stay on the damn boat, has sort of infiltrated. Picaro reveals that he has created a machine which will change the balance of power in the world for all. Now Monica breaks free and then starts beating the hell out of the machine, as you can see here, which of course was stupid because it blows up. She then appears on the waterfront, not understanding how the hell she got there. She basically then teleports inside of this building, again, not knowing how she's doing all of this, and she then sends a mayday and seemingly shocks the guy on the other end. It also turns out that she's in a storage warehouse, and she puts together a costume, which of course is her like classic look right here. So Monica sees a lightning strike in the direction of the oil field, and wanting to go save the professor, she suddenly transports back towards the rig right before the professor is then shot by Dr. Picaro. Bleeding on the floor, the professor says that the unstable energy is flooding in from the other universe and is breaking a wall between worlds. There's this hole there that's, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. And it'll be planet-sized by the end of the next day. And then it'll smash these universes really together. So she gets sucked in to that portal right here, and then starts absorbing this energy. Picaro lets off another shot on the professor, but Monica catches the bullet in midair and seals the interdimensional hole shut. So moving on, 2 days later, the professor has been running these tests and concluded that her body can now be sort of transformed into the form of electromagnetic energy, and she can become a packet of radio waves, basically, and light and electricity. She can go through solid objects, and she can travel at the speed of light. Think of all those cool powers. Now, he also upgraded her suit. Throughout this comic, he has been calling her captain because they were on a boat and whatnot. She finally responds by saying that, look, man, I'm a lieutenant. And that's when the professor shows her this newspaper. And as you can see, the public, they're the ones that's calling her Captain Marvel. Upon learning this information, she tosses her badge and gun to her boss right here, and she quits. I love when people quit the government. So going back to the present, where she's on the Empire State Building or near it, Spider-Man finally gets up to the top and tries to sneak up on her, but of course she disappears again. Spider-Man decides to find her yet again, going on this journey. Turns out that she went to go visit the Fantastic Four. The Thing asks who she is, and she says Captain Marvel. And the Thing, of course, references the fact that Captain Marvel is dead. Marvel, that is. Monica, and this is really important, says that she didn't know there was another Captain Marvel. But anyway, she's visiting them because she needs some sort of scientist to help her with her powers. Reed and company are not there though, and the Thing says that maybe the Avengers can help. So he hits them up, and as he was ringing him, more so he was going to ring them, and remember, with her power, she can really transport through these radio waves. So she disappears, and Spider-Man is late to the party yet again. So Monica does appear out of nowhere in the Avengers mansion, knocking out Iron Man. And Jarvis thinks that she attacked Iron Man. And of course, Spider-Man, late to the party yet again. But her power just seems to just keep increasing, right? And increasing and increasing. And she has no idea what's going to happen. Is she going to blow up? And Spider-Man attempts to sort of web her right over here. And of course, that doesn't work. She breaks out, showing how powerful she is, and even makes the mistake, or Spider-Man makes this mistake, of putting his hands on her. She did not like that. He does end up knocking her out though, and Iron Man is like, what the hell, bro? She's not the enemy. And she could blow up at any second. And to prevent this, Iron Man uses his suit to absorb her power. Yet again, over to the right, you can see Spider-Man confused that Wasp called Monica Captain Marvel and confirms that there is no relation between her and the other, Marvel that is. So Iron Man absorbs the blast, and then the other Avengers arrive right here. Here's Monica first meeting Captain America. And in all honesty, really the issue ends with Spider-Man leaving and going back to what he was doing before he started following or stalking Monica. The comic does confirm right here that she'll be back in Avengers issue number 227. That really wraps this issue up. There is this cool thing right here, completely unrelated to Captain Marvel, shows the many loves of Peter Parker. You're going talking about what, Liz Allen, Gwen Stacy here, of course Mary Jane's here, all of these people. This is really classic stuff. I did like this particular part of the issue, and of course you got Triple J with his little Hitler mustache, talking noise, what's new. But that's gonna wrap it up for this issue. So taking this issue into consideration, I think some of you may begin to really understand why it's so wrong for Monica Rambeau to be knocked down really all the way to a child that looks up to Carol Danvers. It really does her legacy wrong because, as you can see, she had no connection to Carol Danvers. She had no idea who Marvel was. She had no idea who Carol Danvers was. She is her own unique original character. She was called Captain Marvel only in moniker, and she was given that name by the public. She is not like some knockoff of Marvel, which is what Ms. Marvel is, a tokenized female version of Marvel. She's original, power set's original, everything about her is original. She just rocks the same moniker that Marvel did. No connection at all. If anything, Carol Danvers should be looking up to her. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Amazing Spider-Man King Size Annual, issue number 16, 1982. Man, blast from the past. If you like this video, there will be plenty more to come. Similar setup, going through some old comics. But until next time, man, that's gonna do it. Y'all be easy.